Seth MacFarlane, comedy mastermind.
If you don't know who I am, just pretend I'm Donny Osmond.
The guy behind Family Guy.
That we know.
Artist.
I did a two-dimensional drawing of Ted.
Voiceover artist.
I don't really care. I enjoy them both.
Writer, director, and now movie star.
That went south so fast!
His journey from small-town boy to Hollywood powerhouse.
He is kind of breaking the mold.
He's a comedic genius.
There's something inside you that keeps saying, no, go further. Try something different.
It's a constant crippling feeling of inadequacy.
Tonight.
Is that what it is?
That might be what it is, yeah.
CNN Spotlight, Seth MacFarlane.
What's with this fair?
Every year, people die.
Really?
Everybody hold still.
People die at the fair.
People die at the fair.
The scene, Arizona, 1882.
The American West is a terrible place in time. Everything out here that's not you wants to kill you. Angry drunk people, hungry animals, outlaws. Oh, the doctor.
I couldn't save her.
She had a splinter, Doc.
A Million Ways to Die in the West, the new film from Family Guy creator Seth MacFarlane.
That went south so fast!
He's a master of outrageous comedy, from animation
Oh, jeez. Well, one of us is going to have to change.
to live action plus computer animation. To his latest, live action minus animation. The story of the guy behind A Million Ways to Die in the West begins back east. In small-town New England, quiet Kent, Connecticut. He's the eldest of two kids.
Who's this guy?
That is Jonathan Winters. No, this is me as a child. What was I, like less than a year old?
What do you have on?
It looks like overalls, but it looks like I pulled the straps down to be sexy.
It's
I don't know.
adorable.
Yeah.
The hair's still the same, though. You
It's
still
exactly
have your
the
flip
same.
up.
Like a lot of tots, baby Seth loves cartoons.
I would watch Woody Woodpecker and Fred Flintstone.
Unlike a lot of tots, baby Seth can draw them.
It's yeah, the Flintstones. These are from when I was 2. For some reason, Fred is waving the American flag.
I'm blown away by these, but Barney is spelled wrong. Come
It
on.
is, yeah, I know. Listen, I'm embarrassed.
If this isn't the ultimate sign that you were born to do this, I don't know what is.
From the very beginning, I had a desire to copy other people's work.
Original works start pouring out too. Young Seth creates his own animated movies, as his dad recalls.
He used an old 8mm camera. He had it set up on a tripod, and he took each frame by itself and came up with a 7-minute video.
Soon, Seth's working for the local newspaper, the Kent Good Times Dispatch.
My first job was doing a cartoon when I was about 9 years old, and they paid me $5 a week.
His cartoons are maintained at the Kent Historical Society, where Marge Smith is executive director.
Anything that caught his fancy, he'd figure out a way to make it funny. It's a little bit of irreverence, but also just innocent fun.
After high school, he heads to a prestigious art school.
I was an animation major in college, and so I had very, very good training from the Rhode Island School of Design.
Part of that training, complete a student film. Seth draws and voices the characters.
Hey, how about that? It says here there's another state that's going to abolish the death penalty. Oh, is that right? Yeah, instead they make you share a popsicle with Tom Waits.
When did you discover that you could actually do voices as well?
I was pretty young, began with impressions.
You guys have any Cheez-Its? Honey, I think we should move. Oh, fine, let's have this conversation for the test.
His student project at the Rhode Island School of Design, a professor takes enough of an interest in and recommends that he takes it out to Hollywood.
With his student film as a calling card, Seth quickly lands a job.
He was hired by Hanna-Barbera, which was, a pretty extraordinary first job.
And you are?
Johnny Bravo.
I wrote for a show called Johnny Bravo, on Cartoon Network that aired for a few years that actually is sort of a cult hit in its own right.
He works mostly behind the scenes, but gains some on-camera experience. These are outtakes of him spoofing Captain Kirk on Cartoon Network's Adult Swim.
And I'm the captain of the Starship Enterprise.
Then, in 1998, his big break. Fox, home to The Simpsons, gets a look at an animated short Seth creates.
Hi there, my name's Steve. I'm a dog, in case you're, well, stupid.
Fox invites him to shoot a pilot, so long as he does it on the cheap.
You know, they weren't going to give me $1 million to make a pilot, so they said, listen, if you can do this for 50 grand, we'll give you a shot at a primetime show.
Seth titles his program Family Guy.
Without your thermostat.
Man.
It's a twisted take on the nuclear family, complete with matricidal talking baby.
Stewie, I said no toys at the table.
Damn you, vile woman!
Is this a grape or a cherry? You know what? I don't really care. I'll enjoy it either way.
Seth voices several characters, from Stewie to Dad Peter Griffin.
Right, alcohol is trouble. You know, I feel kind of guilty I ever gave Chris his first taste of beer. Yeah, but you turned out okay, didn't you, pal?
I'm gonna go get wasted.
Okay, look both ways.
The voice itself came from a security guard where I went to college, and he had just this impossibly thick, loud, boisterous Rhode Island accent.
Fox greenlights the show, giving it an incredible launching pad.
They put it behind the Super Bowl, which is, you know, that's the biggest piece of real estate on television.
He's our family guy.
The date, January 31st, 1999. The world gets its first look at Family Guy.
Well, we're officially on welfare. Come on, kids, help me scatter car parts on the front lawn.
The show wastes no time pushing the boundaries of taste.
Whoa, is that really the blood of Christ? Yes. Man, that guy must have been wasted 24 hours a day, huh?
The humor was just crazy.
Yeah, America's great, isn't it? Except for the South.
It was just a very new kind of show.
Sometimes it made you cringe, but it was just that darn funny that you couldn't help but laugh at it.
At the end of the day, that's all it's trying to do. It's not trying to change the world.
Yeah, boy.
The debut of Family Guy makes him, at age 24, the youngest executive producer in network television. Seth MacFarlane is on his way. Coming up, Seth's career advances, but on 9/11, it almost comes to a horrifying end.
I turned to the guy next to me and said, "My God, no, that was the flight I was supposed to be on."
Unconfirmed report
And you're not exactly Mr. Cold Turkey either. Remember that time you tried to give up candy?
I'll ask you one more time. Are you sure you didn't eat anything in my factory?
No.
While Family Guy is moving from time slot to time slot, its creator gets an invitation to speak at his alma mater in Rhode Island. The timing will have profound implications for Seth. The date? September 10th, 2001. The next morning, September 11th, he heads to Boston's Logan Airport to fly back to LA.
I got to the counter and I said, "Yeah, I'm booked on flight 11." And the one behind the counter said, "I'm sorry, you're too late. They just closed the gate." And I said, "All right, well, I'll take the 11 o'clock." Went into the lounge, fell asleep, woke up about 45 minutes later to a commotion, and the first plane had hit.
Unconfirmed report that a plane has crashed into one of the towers there.
Sat there and watched the second plane hit.
Another passenger plane hitting the World Trade Center.
And I turned to the guy next to me and said, my God, no, that was the flight I was supposed to be on.
The close call does not prompt Seth, an avowed atheist, to re-examine his worldview.
I'm not a fatalist. I was not shaken to the core.
He keeps his focus on Family Guy, but there, trouble's brewing.
Whoops.
Ratings keep sliding as the show is bounced around the schedule by Fox executives.
They did not know their audience. They didn't know what they had.
When the network announces its 2002 lineup, the word is out.
We've been canceled.
Oh no, Peter, how could they do that?
Fox tosses the show onto the ash heap of syndication.
They basically gave it to to Cartoon Network in exchange for promotional plugs for the DVD.
That could be all she wrote for Family Guy and Seth MacFarlane, but then something remarkable happens.
It starts airing on Cartoon Network in reruns, and it's doing really well.
Is there no hope?
And then the DVDs go on sale and everybody wants it. That everybody who's a fan of the show wants it.
Stupid remote's not doing anything.
Fox execs begin to think,
Oh, boy.
maybe we made a mistake.
Then to Fox's credit, they did something that never happens in television, which is bring a show back from the dead.
Back by popular demand, Fox proudly announces the return of Family Guy with all new episodes.
Those all-new episodes begin airing in the spring of 2005.
Hey, Stewie, 3 o'clock. Time for The View. No, not again!
And Seth becomes an ever more powerful producer.
Good morning, USA!
Eventually creates a couple more shows, first American Dad, then The Cleveland Show.
This is the Cleveland Show.
American Dad, wildly successful.
In 2008, Fox rewards him with a $100 million contract.
Wow, you're in a good mood today.
You bet I am.
Reportedly making him TV's highest paid writer-producer.
That's what my lawyers tell me.
In his spare time, he records an album of big band music.
Music is better than words.
And now, please welcome your roast master, Seth MacFarlane.
And he headlines some of Comedy Central's roasts, like the epic one of Charlie Sheen.
Yes, we're here tonight to honor and hopefully arrest a man who was great in two things 25 years ago, Charlie Sheen.
In 2012, he makes another bold move.
I'm gonna name you Teddy.
Directing his first feature. Ted, the story of a stuffed animal come to life and his lifelong pal.
In a perfect world, we wanted to do like an R-rated E.T.
What I like to do to her, something I call a dirty fuzzy.
Laurie?
The concept is so out there, Mark Wahlberg initially balks at it.
The pitch is, okay, it's this guy and his teddy bear running around. And I'm like, well, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not doing the whole teddy bear thing.
Come on, let's sing the thunder song. When you hear the sound of thunder, don't you get too scared.
Seth voices the title character and helps animate Ted through motion capture technology.
Well, I am a former celebrity in a minimum wage job.
The film opens in June of 2012 and becomes an unexpected and gigantic hit.
And let him in.
Yeah, let him in.
Exactly.
Right.
Good.
Okay. All of the success with Ted, were you kind of like, how did this happen?
I had no idea what to expect from Ted.
I love you. I love you too.
You know, I wasn't thinking in terms of commercial viability, in terms of you know, what was going to sell.
But sell it does. On top of that, Seth earns an Oscar nomination for co-writing a song in the film.
Everybody needs a best friend.
He'll be playing a much bigger role at these Academy Awards than just nominee.
Good morning. I'm Seth MacFarlane, the host of the Oscars.
I think it's pretty clear why the Academy wanted him, is that this is the guy who created Family Guy. That's why they wanted him. They want those young eyeballs.
I think it was a calculated risk that they took.
This is the first time you're hosting. Days before the ceremony, Seth tells me he doesn't expect to win over critics.
I go in at about -10
Well, I know you
with the
want
press, so it's like, all right, I got to get myself to at least a level where they can tolerate me. And then maybe from there I have a shot at actually getting a positive review.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Seth MacFarlane.
The curtain rises February 24th, 2013.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Oscars. And the quest to make Tommy Lee Jones laugh begins now.
One comedy number becomes controversial, where Seth sings about actresses who have appeared nude in films.
Kristen Stewart, we saw your boobs in On the Road, and in Monster, we saw Charlize Theron's.
The actresses he mentions are in on the joke, having pre-taped their reaction shots.
They were playing along, and of course that mattered.
Some Academy members brand the bit sexist, but MacFarlane finds plenty of defenders.
I don't think he is remotely sexist. I don't think what he did was sexist.
With Seth as host, the Oscars see a ratings jump. But when the prospect comes up of hosting the next year, he says, sorry, I'm gonna be busy. Coming up, Seth gets super busy, exploring the cosmos.
We've compressed all of cosmic time into a single year-at-a-glance calendar.
And the Wild West.
Can I interest you folks in a miracle cure?
Okay, all right, get ready. I'm about to shoot a full load at your cans.
Shut up.
All right,
focus.
okay.
Seth's current focus? Filmmaking, as the writer, producer, director, and star of A Million Ways to Die in the West.
This is a weed cookie, isn't it?
What was it about the Old West that made you say, this is what I'm going to do with this backdrop?
I have always been a fan of Westerns, both in film and television, and it had been a while since anyone had really done a Western comedy.
The setting may be the Old West, but the script is full of Seth's contemporary humor.
The American West is a disgusting, awful, dirty, dangerous place. Look around you. Everything out here that's not you wants to kill you. Outlaws, angry drunk people, scorned hookers, hungry animals, diseases. You can get killed just going to the bathroom.
You're this kind of cerebral, bookish, urbane guy that's like plunked into the middle of, the Wild West. Where did that come from?
Well, that was part of the grounding process, is to show this world through a modern lens. We romanticize this period, but the fact is, if you actually lived there, it would have just been a horrible, miserable, terrible, depressing, dangerous place to be. And, particularly if you were not an alpha.
I gotta need a running start. Dude, you really shouldn't drink at horse.
The character seemed like a good fit. If I was doing a Holocaust drama, I probably would not cast myself.
Seth plays Albert, a fearful sheep farmer who toughens up with the help of his sure-shot, gunslinging love interest, played by Charlize Theron.
I'm gonna teach you how to shoot.
On set with Seth MacFarlane, what's that like?
It's like Christmas coming a month early and then continuing for 10 years. That's really how special it is.
Giovanni Ribisi joins the celebration as Seth's sidekick in the film.
Oh, hey, look, it's the ice.
That went south so fast!
He knows exactly what works and what doesn't. It is like working with a genius in that regard. By the same token, you're invited to just bring everything you have and contribute as much as you can.
Some sheep butter.
A chance to contribute to Seth's unique brand of comedy is apparently worth pleading for.
I came a begging, man. I really did. The idea of working in a genre that I haven't really explored fully with someone who's at the top of his game, Seth MacFarlane, and him in a situation where he's kind of throwing himself out of his comfort zone by deciding to star in it and be in front of the camera as well. All of those things to me felt really exciting.
I like your bustle, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I really love that the most alluring fashion statement a woman can make today is to simulate a fat.
Is a simulation of a fat right there.
We don't often see you in front of the camera, so what made you think this time, all right, here we go?
Throughout the course of my career, I've managed to continue to challenge myself and to try things that I haven't tried and to keep scaring myself. I'm not really content creatively unless I'm doing something that scares me a little bit, that's stimulating.
Seth's creative thrill-seeking has a track record of paying off, so much so he can get Hollywood to greenlight a seemingly unsexy science project.
The cosmos is all that is, or ever was, or ever will be.
The 1980 PBS science series Cosmos is back with a reboot, courtesy of Seth.
See that glowing fog out there? It's radiation left over from the Big Bang.
You are a big proponent of science and furthering science education. Why so? Why are you so passionate about that?
We all benefit from it, and yet there's a lot of fear. You take the insane anti-vaccination trend. It's the prime example right now of why Cosmos is necessary. There is no more reliable, more self-policing mechanism than science. Science is going to tell science when science is wrong.
He knows about bringing shows back from the dead. Television's better for having that show on.
Beyond his TV project, Seth has TED 2 in the works.
Bring it in, you bastard. Come on.
I love you.
Sorry, that's the thing.
The old...
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And more music coming with a new album of holiday classics.
Just forget about words and sing her a song.
There's something inside you that keeps saying, no, go further, try something different.
It's a constant crippling feeling of inadequacy.
Is that what it
I think
is?
that might be what it is, yeah.
Whatever his motivation, any project Seth takes on, his fans follow.
He's doing the kind of comedy that very few people are doing, and that there is an audience for, and there is a devoted audience for.
Devoted fans and family.
We spoke to your dad at the premiere last night, and here's what he said.
I just have such great respect for him, and he's still a very, very grounded and kind and focused human being. He's a good soul, a good person, and that's more than anything else what I'm proud of.
My dad's such a... I'm going to get him for that, man. Oh, man, I'm going to get you guys, son of a...
I didn't expect that.
With Seth MacFarlane, always expect the unexpected.